Welcome to the State of Ohio. I'm Karen Kassler. The claim that Ohio's new state legislative district maps violate the anti-gerrymandering reforms passed by voters in 2015 took center stage at the Ohio Supreme Court on Wednesday. Statehouse correspondent Andy Chow has a recap of the arguments in 3 cases that challenge the maps drawn by Republicans and approved by the 5 Republicans on the 7-member Ohio Redistricting Commission in September.
As Freda Levenson stood before the Ohio Supreme Court to argue against the newly drawn district maps for the Ohio House and Senate, she recalled the same court case 10 years ago. But the lawyer with the ACLU of Ohio, representing the League of Women Voters of Ohio, said back then the court ruled the state didn't have the language in the Constitution to define anti-gerrymandering policies.
The court, in its opinion, paragraph 14, specified the kind of language it would need. No apportionment plan shall be drawn with the intent of favoring or disfavoring a political party. Ohio voters listened and in 2015 voted overwhelmingly in a bipartisan basis to supply this.
Levenson said that ruling and the 2015 vote armed the state with a new set of constitutional guidelines. She told the court that the Ohio Redistricting Commission violated anti-gerrymandering policies in those standards by drawing maps that give Republicans a 63% majority in the Statehouse. She cites language in the 2015 reforms that says maps must reflect a proportional district balance of Ohio voters' political preference. Based on the last decade of statewide elections, the state splits about 54% Republican and 46% Democratic, while the new Ohio House map creates 62 Republican-favored seats to 37 Democratic-favored seats. The Ohio Senate map splits 23 Republican seats to 10 Democratic seats. Philip Strack is an attorney from North Carolina and involved in a redistricting case there. He represented Republican House Speaker Bob Cupp and Senate President Matt Huffman on the Ohio Redistricting Commission. Strack argued that the provision saying the maps should reflect the partisan makeup of Ohio did not need to be followed because the commission complied with other sections of the Constitution. And Strack said the commission attempted to compromise by avoiding a map that would have been worse for Democrats.
The commission could have said, you know what, we can't cut a deal. We've complied with the anti-gerrymandering requirements. We're going to go back and we're going to adopt that 67 Republican-leaning House plan. We're going to do that because we can. They didn't do that.
The mapmakers have said the state's partisan breakdown could be considered 81% Republican, since that's how many times a GOP candidate won a statewide race, an argument fellow Republican Chief Justice Maureen O'Connor called into question.
You put them in the Republican column, and there's no equivalent number or representation of all of the other party, Democrat or Democratic-leading independents that voted. There's no accounting for their vote when you.
O'Connor is considered to be the possible swing vote on a court that splits 4-3 with a Republican majority. She voted against the maps that were upheld 10 years ago, which also created a Republican supermajority in the Statehouse. There's no telling when a ruling will come out, but it's likely to be a few weeks because filing deadlines for candidates are in February. If the court rules against the maps, it's likely the Ohio Redistricting Commission will have to redraw the plans. Andy Chow, Statehouse News Bureau.